Now, so far in the tutorials, we have covered how to set up a Raspberry Pi, set up playlist. Also, we have configured the Raspberry Pi to connect to our home network. So next, what we learn is setting up schedules so that the shows that we want are played automatically at predefined time. Step 1, in order to achieve this, we need to make sure that the Raspberry Pi knows the exact time of day. For that, let's go to Status and Control, FPP Settings. In here, let's jump to the time section. As you can see, the time here is currently incorrect. So let's fix that. Let's jump to the time zone option and pick your right location. I am based in Louisville, Kentucky, so let me pick that. Now you could just pick the time zone, but with this additional detail that you provide by picking your city, the Raspberry Pi also knows your dusk time, that is your sunset time, which helps in terms of scheduling as well. As you can see, the time is updated to 1915, which is 7:15. As you can see, the time on my computer is 7:15 as well. So the time aspect is correct. Now let's jump to creating schedules. In here, all you need to do is add a schedule. You need to define start and end dates. So for example, for Christmas, it could be all of December. You just need to set up the date. In this example, I'm just going to set up today's day as start date. In terms of days, there's pretty much every combination you can imagine. The easiest option I feel is the day mask, because it just gives you granular control, and I'm just going to make sure today's day is selected. In terms of start time, I'll just make sure the start time is 7:44. It'll give us a couple of minutes to make sure we have the schedule set up. Now let's choose the playlist that we intend to play at this particular time. In terms of stop type, there are a few options. Now let's say your show has 6 videos. If we choose the option to be graceful, it will make sure to end the current video that you're playing. It will not end the video midway. If you choose graceful loop, it will make sure that all 6 videos have been played, as in you're at the end of the main playlist before your show is ended. If you choose hard stop, the moment you reach the end time, the show will end, even if you're midway through a video. So I personally like a graceful loop. In terms of end time here, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to wait for the end time, but you get the gist. The final option, repeat, it gives you control in terms of how often you want the shows to play. Sometimes you may not want the shows to play back to back. You might want to leave some interval between the shows, and that's when this option comes in handy. Let me just switch my start time to 7:45. Now, in case you're wondering if you've set up your schedule right, on the status page on top, you can see that currently the Pi is idle, but next playlist is the show tutorial that will be played at 7:45 p.m. You don't have to have your fingers crossed hoping that it's gonna play. That's it. Now let's give it a few seconds. At precisely 7:45, the show should start. There we go. It's 7:45, and as you can see, the show has started. Of course, in the essence of time, we don't want to let the entire show play out, but you get the gist. The schedule works as intended. And once the schedule begins and the playlist is active, you get a few more options, like options to extend time if required. It also tells you what time the playlist started, when it's going to end, and when is the next playlist that it's scheduled for. So pretty much you get the entire status right from the comfort of your house. So that's the advantage of having Raspberry Pi over a regular media player. Now in the next video, we'll go over how to sync multiple different Falcon players. For example, your show may have multiple players playing multiple different files and you want them to play in exact synchronization. We'll go over exactly how that is achieved in the next video.